that you met your soulmate? It's quite the um, interesting topic, isn't it? And also quite exciting. I wonder I should have done this on Valentine's Day since it has just passed, but nevertheless, I have decided to go live every single day in the month of March, except on the weekends on this channel. And I thought of creating content that could really speak to the audience, especially people who might not know me, not know the work I do, are very new to this channel. And I thought talking about soulmates could be a great place to start or continue the conversation in March, especially because it's such a common thread for all of us. We're constantly looking for love in our life, and we might be of any age, right? We might be a kid, we're looking for a friend, we might be a teenager, we're looking for our first boyfriend or first girlfriend, we might be in our 30s and looking for a life partner. We might be in our 60s and looking for a life partner. And I feel as though many a times when we are busy in life, we might just forget the aspect of love. Uh, and here, by love, I mean both romantic and non romantic love. Um, and I hope if you're watching this live streaming, this becomes a reminder for you that love is a source of energy which can be tapped into regardless of what age we are or which country we belong to, what economic background we have, what profession we might be in, right? Um, and today we're going to talk about 10 signs that can tell you that you have manifested your romantic soulmate or just your soulmate. And we're going to talk about types of soulmates. I will be sharing my journey in finding my soulmates. And if you heard me correctly, I said soulmates, like plural, and I don't mean uh, a person cheating on their soulmate. I don't mean that, but we'll get to that in a bit. And we're going to also talk about what are the 10 signs, of course. And at the end of the live streaming, we will be speaking about Reiki and how Reiki can help in manifesting your soulmate in a way you can bypass a lot of problems and challenges you would normally experience in the conventional dating or mating scenario. So let's begin. By the way, my name is Dr. Pranita Rao. I am a former dentist, a published science author, an intuitive abstract artist, an energy worker, an angelic healer, and a narrator since I'm on YouTube. And I love what I do. I'm quite passionate about everything that I do. Uh, and although I have various businesses, today we're going to talk about soulmates and love and Reiki. All three intersect in a way that you might not have imagined, which is why I encourage you to stay till the end of this live stream and absorb and contain everything that I have to share with you, right? So, what is the concept of soulmates? Yeah. So, what would you think soulmates are normally? Are they our family where we are born into? Are they our friends that we meet in school, in high school, in college? Are they our colleagues that we really gel with? You don't know why. You meet them one day. The first day you go to office, you meet them. You feel like you've met a long lost friend. Why? Right? Have you ever thought about that? I'm sure you have. Because I have. I have met so many people in my life. Uh, and so when I say so many, not in volume, but like quite a few people in my life where I met them for the first time and I'm like, wow, this person gets me, right? But they've not necessarily stayed in my life for a long time. And we'll talk about that as well as to why that could happen. Um, but have you felt that way when you've met somebody for the first time and you felt, whoa, I know this person. And it doesn't necessarily have to be romantically. Could be a person who just makes you feel accepted, makes you feel like you belong, right? Even an animal for that matter. For a lot of people, animals do that. They do that for me. So, especially dogs and horses. So, if you have felt that way, you might have encountered a soulmate scenario and you might have not realized it then. But if you actually sit and write a list today as to how many times you've met somebody and that person or an animal or a plant or a tree, even because it can happen with trees and plants as well, has made you feel heard, seen, as if you belong immediately and continuously, right? You could have had a soulmate experience, and when you do write the list and you get a few names, I encourage you to reminisce how it felt, how it made you feel as though you're loved. It's important, which is why I'm asking, because many a times when we are looking for our soulmates, we might forget the people we've actually come across in our lives who have made us feel this way. And when we start finding our soulmates from a place of belief that, oh, we've actually met a few people in our life who have been our soulmates, so we will obviously meet our romantic soulmate as well, or the other soulmates that are yet to come, right? Now, I keep saying soulmates, if you've noticed. What does this mean? Why is it a plural word that I'm using all the time? You might have felt quite intrigued. Well, soulmates are actually souls who are of a common soul group, or they have something in common. If not a soul group, it's either a quality, a mission, a learning. There is a commonality, right? So every time you come across somebody in your life, for example, you have a parent or a sibling, they could be your soulmate as well. But you would be learning something very specific along with that person. Now, that could be a complementary learning where you would be learning something, they would be learning something, mostly under the same umbrella, but it could be slightly different as well. But it would be complementary. So, less conflicts, right? And more harmonious sort of learnings and quick resolutions. And then there could be soulmates where the lessons or learnings could be similar or of the same umbrella. Like, for example, one person could be learning about how to be kinder, and the other person would be learning about how to be more polite. Uh, so it's in the same umbrella, right? But they might have conflicting personalities. The lessons would be designed in a way there are always conflicts between those two soulmates. And that could also be a possibility. You see, there in a family, you could have parents fighting with each other all the time. It could look like a similar problem that both the parents have. They're just fighting, right? You could be seeing a child fighting with their parent all the time. Same complaints. Mom doesn't listen to me, child says, and mother says, child doesn't listen to me. So, same sort of a problem, right? So, we're constantly working through something with our soulmates. And the concept of soulmates is such that it's my perspective that we're meant not to go through situations by ourselves because we are on planet Earth and we got to be social, right? For all my antisocial peeps there, uh, we got to be social. Um, but what I'm trying to say is that when we are incarnating with other souls on planet Earth who have similar missions or who have been assigned to us by our angels or our soul to help us work through lessons or come in between lessons as well, pose a challenge. You see how when you're trying to work towards a goal, right? Very focused, you'll find these unexpected challenges just come through, right? You'll see one guy's like constantly studying um, for an exam. It's a very big competitive exam, studying for like months. And every time he's close to understanding a concept, his friends come in and they take him out for an outing. He gets distracted, loses focus, takes 2 3 days to come back, right? He's just about to crack the exam, and he unfortunately finds the same friends disturbing him in the class, right? So, what I mean to say is, there are these people who come as challenges as well, who could be soulmates, unfortunately, who are trying to teach us lessons like boundaries, self esteem, being kind to ourselves, etc. So, soulmates could either be helping our life lessons and making it easier or making it very challenging for us. For example, I've been trying to manifest my soulmates. Again, I say the word soulmates in plural. So I've been manifesting my romantic soulmate and my soul family, especially my soul father, somebody who is a father figure who I know because I'm a psychic, and I've been communicating with them through spirit because that's something that I'm trained to do in. I'm not encouraging y'all to do that unless you're trained for it, um, or wish to get training, that is, although everybody can do that. Anyway, um, the point here is that when I started speaking to them, I also started coming across people who were my soulmates, but they were not complementary. They would create problems for me, create delays, bad work, low quality work, lying, manipulation, tactics, dishonesty, interference, severe interference. So, what are these people trying to teach me, right? And I think of it as that these people are trying to teach me boundaries. Somewhere they felt that it's okay to behave this way. Whereas my romantic soulmate who I'm manifesting or my soul father, they're more sort of compassionate, more available, more supportive, feeling sources and forces of energy. They respond differently, right? So, similarly, you could have people in your life already who either pose challenges, interfere while you're trying to do something. And if you're watching this video, I assume that you are in the lookout for a soulmate, for a romantic soulmate. So watch out as to who are the people who help your goals and who are the people who sabotage your goals or sabotage you finding your soulmates, right? Now, let's talk about different types of soulmates. So, of course, we all know about romantic soulmates, right? Romantic soulmates who are chosen for us for a lifetime or a period of our life by our soul, by our higher self, by angels, right? Then there is soulmates who are business soulmates or career soulmates, people who step into your life right at the moment when you need help in your career or business, right? Then there are soulmates who are soulmates as your friends, who can also be called as kindred spirits. You meet a person, like I was saying, and you feel as though they get you. They are always in sync with you. They agree to most of the things that you say, but also give constructive criticism, right? Then there are also wrecking ball soulmates, something that I've learned through my Reiki practice. They are people who come into each other's life to create wrecking ball kind of a situation. So the moment they meet, they might start getting to huge conflicts where it can get very toxic, very disruptive, right? There could be soulmates who are animals and pets. Trees, I have a tree soulmate who's no longer alive, but he's there in spirit with me. His name is Muddy, by the way. So you also have tree and plant soulmates who watch over you for a period of your life. After they pass over from spirit as well, right? Your soulmate could also be your child, your parent, your grandfather, your grandmother, can be. Now, you must be wondering, wow, I could have so many soulmates. When I say you could have so many soulmates, it's beautiful. Makes you wonder you're not alone in life. If you were thinking that, oh my god, if you're thinking about challenges today, this is such a big challenge in my life right now. Well, you have help, so many soulmates. You already have at least a short list in mind of 3 names. You're good to go, right? Now let's talk about how do you recognize soulmates. So, although there are different types of soulmates, today we're going to talk about 2 major types of soulmates. One is a soulmate who's of the romantic kind, which I assume if you're watching this video, you must be here to find out about your romantic soulmate, most probably. And the second is of a soulmate who could be your parental figure or your guardian for that matter. Because oftentimes soulmates could also guard you. I say guard, I don't mean as like a police, literally walking with a stick or a bouncer, but rather people who watch out for you, people who have best interests for you, people who can put your needs above themselves. So let's talk about these 2 major kinds. And There's just one or two major differences in the signs. The rest remain the same. So let's talk about what are the 10 signs, but let's talk about, excuse me, please bear with me, it's summer here, and I have started having a lot of cold drinks, which is making me sneeze today. But let's talk about the 10 signs that would help you understand that you found your soulmates romantic and parental. And sometimes a romantic partner could also be a parental guide or parental figure. So, what is it? So, the first one is that you could start thinking about them, and you don't have to necessarily know who they are. And that's the tricky part. And you might wonder, how do I think about somebody I don't know? Well, you can, because we're spiritually connected to our soulmates. You can keep thinking about them at the back of your mind. You might not be aware of it, but you're connecting with them through thoughts, and they're connecting back to you with thoughts, because there's always a mutual link. It's never a one-way street, right? So you're always thinking about them, especially the closer you get to your soulmate, the more you start thinking about them. They start thinking about you. The second is that you start feeling romantic feelings without even meeting them. Or if you've met them and you've not dated anybody for a long time, you've not seen anybody for a long time, you've not been ever married, or you've just had a break from the dating world for a bit, you'll start feeling those romantic emotions emerge again. And that can be quite beautiful. It's happening to me now, so I know that um, it's a certain possibility. The third one is that you can start having energetic changes in your energy body, in your life as well. So, this moment your romantic soulmate or your parental soulmate come closer to you, or you go closer to them, you start seeing energetic shifts in your body. So, you might feel as though one day you have less energy, one day you have more energy, one day you're feeling very lethargic, one day you're feeling extremely um, let's get stuff done. You're in that mode. One day you're lying sleepless, awake in the night. One day you want to sleep more than usual, right? So you have energetic changes, and even the energy in your world starts shifting. So you'll see that things are slightly changing, people start behaving differently. For example, since I started working on my soulmates, I notice that people have become more uh, aware that I I'm somebody who can cut out from their lives because there are other priorities. I think they've become more respectful of my time, uh, and I think that's an energetic shift that has happened. Of course, that has happened because of my Reiki practice as well, but nevertheless, I'm pretty sure there are quite a few energetic changes when you try to manifest your soulmates. The fourth sign is that your body feels different. You might have physical manifestations or changes and signs and messages that your body is giving you. You might feel flushed if it's a romantic soulmate that you're manifesting is coming closer. You might feel as though you're more sexually aroused. You feel as though you no longer want to hold on to things that you used to before. because they seem less important. Because what's more important now is to manifest this person. Your focus shifts, right? And this can also happen, by the way, for a non romantic soulmate. If you're trying to manifest a parental soulmate, it can happen for them as well. You can constantly keep feeling worried or vulnerable. Where are they? What are they doing? How do I reach them? And if you're somebody who they are parental towards, you might start feeling like a child. Oh, where is my parent? I want to go to my parent, right? And it can be an emotionally challenging place to be in. And I imagine it might be similar for the person who is a parental influence, a soulmate for the person who's manifesting them. They might feel as though they're longing to be with the child, with their soulmate child, and that can be equally difficult. So it brings up a lot of physical um, changes. You can have like panting, you can feel as their chest is heavy, you want to cry, right? Feel anxious, as though your body doesn't belong here, it belongs with that person. And I don't mean it in a different sense, but what I mean is that your physical presence doesn't belong where you are, but it belongs with your soulmate. So your physical body changes. You can feel that. The next sign is that you can start feeling emotions toward that person. And now, here are two scenarios. One scenario, you've not met your soulmates, but you sort of are spiritually aware that they exist. But you can start having emotions towards them. And it might seem very difficult and very sort of confusing because you've not met a person. How are you still feeling emotions towards them, right? But you can, because your emotional body also starts getting in tuned with each other. So you might have feelings of love for them, care for them, fear, concern, all spectrum of human emotions that we all have as human beings. Might feel anxious, worried about them, what are they doing? Where are they? Right? And if you've been trying to manifest them for a while, frustrated, where are they? Where is my soulmate? Sort of a thing. And that's natural. I know I've been in that place for a while, so yeah. The next sign is that you can feel that your life is changing. Like situations are changing. Right? Like as though a challenge that was there before has shifted. Or you change something in your life. You move homes, you move cities, countries, career change, relationship changes. You lose a friend, you gain a friend. Your dynamics with your family changes. Your dynamics with yourself changes. Quite possible. Right? You might feel the need to be more loving towards yourself. Set more boundaries with your own self, their own energy. Right? The next sign is that you can have extremely intense sleep wake dream state like experiences wherein you can meet your soulmate in that sleep wake time. When you wake up in the morning, you're still half asleep. It's quite possible that you can connect with your soulmate more easily. A lot of times, telepathically, soulmates are connected and they can give each other messages. Especially if you have spent previous lifetimes together, you can already have a strong connection with each other, and that becomes easier to communicate, makes it easier to communicate with each other, even if you haven't met. And if you have met, you might find yourself telepathically communicating with your soulmate, romantic or otherwise. When you meet them, you finish their sentences, know what they're saying, what they mean, give them what they need even before they ask, right when they're asking, right? Have you had that experience where you're sort of sitting with somebody who feels like a soulmate? Now, this can happen with anybody as well. If you're like connected with another person, if it's a kindred spirit or your pet, you can be telepathic with them. But I'm talking about a different sort of telepathy where it's very strong, very intimate, very um, authentic, where you just know that they exist, they're for you, they're real, and that they mean well, and they sort of are givers in your life, not takers. Has that happened to you? Think about it. The next sign is that they can be people who live right next to you or very close to your vicinity, can be connected to your network of people. They might not necessarily be the people you would instantly connect to socially, but they would definitely have mutual connections with you, or it would be very easy for you to develop mutual connections with people in their life. And that is because you're meant to um, l- sort of walk through life together in certain parts of for certain parts of your life. So finding them could be easier than you think. So if you keep coming across people telling you that, hey, you should go here, visit here, do you know my friend, he's doing this event, do you want to go? You keep getting invitations, you should definitely go, because chances are you might find your soulmates there, right? The last sign is that your soulmates, your romantic soulmates, and your parental soulmates could often be missed by you. Because when we say soulmates, we are often thinking of this really um, we have a fancy idea of soulmates. So, normalcy could feel very alien to us. So, we're imagining like an Amitabh Bachchan or a Shah Rukh Khan entering our life. Sometimes, not most times, or like a Kareena Kapoor or Kriti Sanon entering our life. Um, but what that could do is it could make us almost blind to the soulmates that already exist in our life. The ones who appear so normal, and you could already be like buying vegetables with them, going on like coffee dates with them, or going like for picnics with them, or carpooling with them, or teaching them, or anything. and you might miss because you're expecting a sort of a unrealistic version of a soulmate. But your soulmates could be the people you interact with, but you miss them. You could miss them because how normal the relationship feels. Because a lot of times, especially with romantic soulmates, we're expecting, right, a thrilling first meeting with butterflies in your stomach and just feeling all gushy. It might not be that way. Your first meeting with your romantic soulmate could be in a station while you're catching a train, or could be in a mall while you're paying for your purchase, or could be in a class you take, and that person might be a student of the same class, right? So I'm not saying lower your expectations, but I'm saying to look at the concept of soulmates not from a lens of a fancy lens, but a realistic lens, because that makes it easier to locate your soulmates, romantic or otherwise. So, those were the 10 signs that you can commonly see when you are manifesting your soulmate, when you are going close to them, they are coming close to you, or they are already in your life. I would definitely like to add that there are many other signs. These could not be your signs as well, not all of them at least, but there could be some. There definitely are some, um, like having physical symptoms and thinking about them and energetic changes that are common to all soulmates. Now, how do you manifest them, right? So, there are different manifestation techniques: law of attraction, affirmations, visualizations. People do vision boards. But today, we're going to talk about Reiki, solely because that's my expertise. And I don't want to pitch something that's not. Uh, I practice soulmate Reiki, which is a form of Reiki which helps in dissolving cords or energetic connections we have with people in our life that basically block us from manifesting our soulmates. And it's not a 1 day process. Because it's Reiki, it's an energy healing modality. It primarily works on healing your energy body, your emotions, you at a soul level, your relationships, different areas of your life. And that's a process. And it could take a week for you to manifest your soulmate through it. It could take 2 weeks, it could take a month or more. We don't know, because we can keep manifesting our soulmates, but if they're meant to be in our life maybe 6 months down the line or 7 months down the line, it could be tough to manifest them immediately, right? But we can definitely fasten the process by Reiki and making sure you don't have to go through meeting people and developing relationships who are not meant to last, or that are not meant to last, because a lot of people um, can manifest wrecking ball soulmates, or soulmates who are not healthy for them as romantic partners, but they could be great friends, they could be kindred spirits, they could be soul sisters, soul brothers. It's another type of soulmates, but they're not good as romantic partners. So we could avoid all those unnecessary stops before we reach a romantic soulmate through soulmate Reiki, because it works specifically for romantic soulmates if done in the right way, right? And I have been manifesting my romantic soulmate and my uh, soul family through soulmate Reiki, having chats with them. It's been quite fun, but also quite emotionally uh, challenging of a process, because you can start feeling as though your current life um, is missing your true connections, but it definitely makes us grow, helps us understand what we deserve and why we deserve more love, more of everything, more warmth, more comfort, more money, more support, more respect, more availability, right? So, Soulmate Reiki can help us recognize all of that. And if you're interested to receive Soulmate Reiki, which is again an energy healing modality, you can feel free to book an appointment with me using the link in my channel bio. We can understand your needs, your challenges, everything that you've tried to manifest your soulmate, and give you soulmate Reiki to manifest your soulmates more healthily and easily. Let me give you an example, short example as to why this could be important. A few weeks ago, I was in a cafe and I met this woman who was in her 30s, who was manifesting her soulmate. And she was telling me that she was meeting all these men who were sort of not healthy, were toxic, already had other partners, and she happened to be dating somebody who's already married. It was a mess. So soulmate, if you're somebody who's wants to avoid all these complications, soulmate Reiki can help you with it. I hope this YouTube live stream was helpful and you were able to recognize the concept of soulmates. Feel assured that you're not alone on this planet, in your life, through your challenges, and that you have soulmates assigned by your angels, your higher self, for you to solve problems, have fun, enjoy life, right? And also with the signs that you would need to recognize your soulmates, romantic soulmates specifically, or your other types of soulmates, especially your parental soulmates. What are the types of soulmates? We've also covered that. And how you can manifest them through Reiki. Now, if you found this stream or video, whichever format you might watch this content in, helpful, useful, educational, please do stick around and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for spending almost 45 minutes with me. I hope you have a great evening. Bye.